Guess who's back in my life? Yep, the OP-1 field. Brought her back. Tell you why in just a second here. Let me stop this track. All right. So first off, before anyone gets to saying, what, that price? TE does not sponsor this video, nor did they send me this item. I did get it through American Music Supply. And Zounds use the same suppliers, by the way. They all have a warehouse that they use, that they get the supplies from. But anyway, this was an open box that was in pristine condition, in my opinion, and was sent back. And it was a couple $100 off. It was cheaper. Let's just say that. So I didn't pay full price for it, which is fine with me because obviously I don't want to pay. Nobody wants to pay full price for it. Who in their right mind thinks that they really want that? But the reason why I brought it back is because I miss having some hardware. I have zero hardware, literally, except for this keyboard, if you want to call. This is technically just a MIDI controller. I got rid of a lot of my other stuff that I have, guitars, basses, things of that nature, because I wasn't using them really to play live anywhere, and I would just record a song here or there with them. So I just didn't feel like I needed them. And I'm not a collector nor a hoarder or any sort, musically, nor in any other way. So I don't usually keep a lot of things. But when I was looking at options, I know they just dropped the MPC Keys 37. It's a great keyboard, but I know me and MPC, while I like them for the most part and think they're a great keyboard, I don't tend to keep it and feel like using it much. And it's definitely not a portable situation where I'm going to sit around with something that doesn't have a battery, right, and be able to use it. Whereas with this guy, it's a sampler, it's a synth. It can work with Koala. It can work with Ableton. I can use it on anything. Don't need this, but check this out, being plugged in. Now, I almost was tempted to get the EP-133. The only reason I didn't was because first of all, I like the OP-1. I like some of the sounds in it. I'm not interested in just having a drum machine, if that makes sense. Drum machine sampler. And then it does not resample. So that's part of the reason why I don't really like it. Like, I don't want something that you can't resample. Whereas with the OP-1 field, you can definitely resample. And you have a lot more features in it too. It can act as a MIDI controller. But with this controller, primarily being hooked to my computer, I thought bringing this back and one of the things I was kind of disappointed when I first had it too, and I knew you could get samples because I was getting other people's stuff, was that I just never really wanted just all synth. I wanted something that sounded more like a real piano. While they do have some in there, one of my things that I like, let me go here. One of the things, there was a few sounds in it in the originals, like the stuff that I like. You know, like cool for little leads and things. But what I did was I brought in my one-shot samples from Keyscape, and I put in my favorites right there. So now I have all my user settings. So my double felt drive. Oops, that was not it. This one. My felt pianos. It's my dark score piano I use. These are just some of them. I have a bunch of them already all done. So that's my bass. I have some Rhodes in there, all from Keyscape that I have. So I sampled in that, which is what you heard on that track when I first came on. So I started thinking about what's my use case for it. And one, it's a great tool for sampling. I mean, you can sample in from the radio on this thing. You can sample in from the mic. You can sample from, let's say if I want to just plug in the computer and sample something into it. I can even pull like co-producer samples into it. chop them up. A lot of different functions. They added in something that that kind of makes me excited to use this or try this out. I'm just gonna pull up a basic piano, and then if you go to back to the synth here, to the not the LFO but the effects, turn it on, hit shift there, and then instead of using the delay, of course the mother was nice, but now we have terminal, which is something that I really wanted. So let's do the bits. I'm gonna put the bits at like 12, which is like sampler, right? Then I'm gonna change the hertz to about 20. Oh, they only let you go to 20. Okay, that's fine. We'll just put it at 20. Maybe a little less. There's these different models. I'm not sure on the models what they are. Maybe the worse the more degraded. How much of it is in the mix too? So if you want the 12-bit sound, it's kind of, plus not only, I'm on the studio tape right now. If I put it on the vintage tape, I think you get more of that old school lo-fi sound. Plus you have this if you want to come in and bring some over your drums or a sample. The options are plentiful. Of course, there's the LFOs you can turn on. Right, to give it that warbly sound and change the speed. So, anywho, it's back in my life. I am using it. I've come to understand how I would use it, and I think that's the key if you get it. And I've shown in my past videos too, yes, you can use Bluetooth. So you can take your Bluetooth phone and use like your sounds off your phone to play into here to sample. You can sound shape you have your ADSR, and here's the sample itself, which if you want to increase the volume or tune it a little different, you can hold it down and tune it a little different. What was that at 146? Anyway, so we'll put it back where it was. I think that's where it was. Let's just go back here. Double felt from Keyscape. Now I know there is on here I forgot how to do it. It's been a minute since I've used one, but there is a feature on here for the pitch wheel. This is your octaves. So I did sample some when I had it before, but I didn't sample my own one-shots and make them sound good. Now I kind of get how to do it. Of course, there's the fade stuff that you can do and all that. But if you do that, I think that gives you some natural sounds, which to me makes it a little more useful for my sounds. And So that's what you hear when you listen to this. And if you want, you can use the stuff that's built into the digital synths that they have in here. My favorite one is Dimensions. But yeah, so interesting. So there you have it. Let me go back to here. Having the one-shot sounds from really from Keyscape and Trillion. I got my basses are from Trillion. My favorite bass sounds in there is gonna be nice for like when I'm just doing something in Koala and I don't feel like going to the computer or trying to figure. I can just plug this guy in, plug this into Koala. I haven't even looked to see if I'm in the screen. Plug this into Koala, record right into Koala, right? If I want to, do the drums in Koala, that's cool. Of course, this thing has drums. We already know that. So you have drum kits, that you can. By the way, on the pattern that I used, which is right here, I built the pattern in here. Now, what I don't like about certain things, obviously, you got swing and you have all the stuff you need, is that it's only one bar. I wish they would have made this at least 8 bars, 4 bars minimum, but 8 bars would have been nice just to be able to like build the whole drum sequence pretty long so you don't have to, but it is what it is. And there's different ways to work around that. You could either play the drums in yourself if you want. Only reason I didn't is because I want to start learning the sequences in here so I get the most out of it versus like just using it for like next to nothing. And then what's the point in having it at that point? You might as well just not even use it. But I'm learning to use their sequencers to make good sounds, and with the swing that they have in here is pretty nice. I actually think it comes out good. It's the perfect travel buddy. Of course, you can use Koala, and it's much easier to make the drums, do all that portion. But this will be nice when I want to play those piano parts. Ooh, interesting. And there's some technique you can use with these different sequencers. Not this one in particular, but the endless sequencer. I know that you can do with the drums. To come up with some nice drum patterns, you just got to learn how to use them like anything, right? And then they have like 30-second notes in here. So if you hit the blue knob, you can change it from 16ths to 8ths to triplets, etc. And then adjust and make your recordings in here. If you use 16th, which is what I'm used to, probably most of us are. And then turn the play off. I think it's shift and then of course, that's not good. I need to work on it. But anyway, you get the point. You guys have seen this before. It's been out now for over a year. I had it when it first came out, got rid of it, you know, sort of missed it. Didn't really miss it at first, actually. And then over time, when they added in more stuff is when I started feeling like, man, I wish I would have still had it. There's some cool videos out there. I know it's really fun doing ambient stuff on it. And people make some really neat stuff with it. I'm going to be back in that avenue. It gives me a break, something to break from the computer or from looking at the phone all the time to doing something, having a piece of hardware. Plus, it holds its value really well, which that's half the battle with gear, in my opinion, is that you always feel like you get burned. So having it, being that I bought it used already, and it was already, you know, or open box. It bought it open box, and it was cheaper. And the fact that it holds value is a worthy buy. This thing is super portable. I do need to get a carrying case. I'm not going to do like I did last time with all the extra trimmings because I just want to keep it simple. But it's definitely a good buy. And I didn't even talk about the merge drop, which is one of the things. I'm going to do it real quick just on camera, just so I can show you. Go back. Let me fix these tracks. So I'm going to cut that portion. That's just the count in. That's the way you do the way I do my count in. Let's see, 1, yeah. I like to leave basically 1 bar. There we go. So I'm just cutting these pieces off. So here's my loop, right? Here's the parts all together. So you should be able to, if you shift, so that's pulling all of them, right? Then I'm going to go drop them back down. Oops, I think I just did it all together. Hold on a second. I did. So that's what you don't want to do because then I just messed up. So I should have just dropped them regular. If you hold shift and drop, it's going to merge them together. But if you don't, and there's no undo, so you know that if you know about OP-1. So that's done now. I'm not worried because I know what I played. I can play that again pretty easy. But yeah, so it merges the sounds. So boom. If you want to use the pattern thing, shift pattern, go back to, I'm going to use pattern. Here, there's the pattern. All right. I'm going to go into whatever. Which one was I on? Okay, there we go. So you're in here. You can just hit play when you're ready. Oh, I messed up already. Hold on 1 second. Because I didn't realize it did. My end point got messed up. All right, now we start. So I'm just putting my track on here. Okay, go back in here, turn that off. Back here. So all I did was record that to tape. I'm going to record the keys for you just to show you. All right, cool. That's on 3. We'll put 2. I'm going to scoot this out to the side just so you don't have to, because there's no purpose worrying about seeing it right now. I'm going to go in here and play just the chords that I played for it and record that in on 2. Okay, that's done. Now we'll go to 1, put the bass in. All right. messed up and don't really care, but I'm going to remove it again and do it one more time. There we go. All right, so there we go. So I just recorded it real quick. Let's go back here. All I'm going to do is hit Shift Lift. Now that picks them all up. Then I'm going to drop them one time. Then it's going to bring that. Now I'm going to go Shift Drop. And those three have been merged to one. And all I have to do is go here, go in, out. There's the new loop point. And whatever your mixing settings is, it holds it at that on that particular drop. Nice, right? So now it's basically like I now got 3 more tracks. And I didn't lose what I did before. So that's sweet, because now I can keep all of this on this track. It doesn't matter. I'm just building parts, right? So now you see that's all there. So then this is just for me to go in. Now I can play a lead. So I might go to track number 2, and I'm not going to record over what's there before. I'm just going to, in fact, I'm going to pick this tape up because it's a little close, so that way we don't mess it up. Go back. I'm going to pick up tape 1. I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to drop it. Set the out point and the end point. That way I don't mess with the first portion of the tape, or if I need a count in, I have an extra bar there. Perfect. Now if I want to add some melody to it, all I got to do, let's say go back to, we're on track 1, we're going to go to track 2. Maybe we want to we'll use the dimensions. Turn that down. Let's just see what it sounds like. Not my cup of tea on that one, but we'll find a lead sound and we'll put it over that. And now we have the lead. So we don't have to lose any of the parts. We still got our 3 parts broken down there. We got a sum track here.